It's your host, Axel Rose, the Shogun with the slogan, and you are now watching MVP Magazine. And I am also here with real name Winton, aka Worst Case of Games on Smash.
Yes, yes.
And I am also here with T Caldwell, aka your grandmama's favorite gamer. What's good?
Formerly, we've cleaned it up now. You know what I mean? Those are the days when I was out here and I was roguish on YouTube, and you know what I mean. Like we've grown up now. We're not
Okay.
30. So we've dropped the your grandma's favorite game. But even though I'm probably still your grandma's favorite game, but just say it.
That's
So
cool.
right now, the three of us are here to talk about the PlayStation 5 reveal event, which has just gone down. It's been a roller coaster of emotions over this whole next generation battle. We've had Microsoft dropping bombs, and now we've got Sony retaliating. And today we're just gonna get those opinions, those real live opinions from the audience and stuff. And yeah, just we're just gonna just keep it real. We're gonna be 100% unbiased and unfiltered. So first, we're gonna talk about the games. So what do you guys think of the games they showed and stuff? Was you guys impressed? Do you think they did enough?
I'll go ahead and start, man. So my expectations, from this conference was really just the price and the release date.
Mm,
Um, they had a conference I think like 2 months ago, and I was already sold on it based upon that conference.
okay.
However, there were some games that they did announce that sold me even more. The fact that they're releasing like 10 games or something like that on the release date, and you can play them on the PS5, that's great. Um, Harry Potter looks cool. Not sure if I'm gonna like it, but I can't knock that it don't look bad. It looks pretty cool. Odds
Mm,
World, the new Odds World coming out. The Final Fantasy 16. I just checked out that trailer. That looks crazy. I gotta support the Spider-Man series just because there's a brother on there. So
definitely.
what I'm saying? So I thought the conference went well, man. I thought, the price was good, the downloadable only version. 3.99. I guess US dollars, I think it's 3.49 for in pounds. And then we have the other version, which is the disc version as well. So for $100 more or something like that. So I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm ready. Reservations come out tomorrow on the 17th. So I'll be up at midnight, man, getting it, man. So that's like my first initial thoughts on it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nail in the coffin kind of conference for me, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because I was a bit like, I was really like Sony really know how. I don't know who they got in their marketing team, but they got really good at just keeping you on that suspenseful end of the episode edge for a while. And I wasn't sure when Xbox came out last week and they were like, "Hey, look, you can we're gonna give you your Xbox on a phone plan." And you get Game Pass and da 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 da. I was like, you know what? I don't really mess with Microsoft, but I might just have to get an Xbox just as a second
Right.
console. And I honestly thought that the PlayStation was going to come in at least £100 more than what it did. So the fact that they came in like just £50 above their competitor, well, the digital only competitor would be the Xbox Series S, I believe. So they kind of just like that, just like slapped them in the face, really. And it was PlayStation really flexing, and I appreciated the flex. You know what I mean? Because as a Sony fan, I wanted to. I don't feel like I'm gonna have to justify my purchase at all to anybody. You
exactly.
know what I mean? Like, and that's a good thing to that's a good position to be in as a consumer because it does get a bit dicey sometimes. You know what I mean? Like if they would have come in at like 550, 600, like it would have been a myth. I still would have bought it on day one, but you know what I mean? I'd have been like, people would have been looking at me like, bro,
Mhm.
like for
Like,
real? Like you spent what? But
like,
now that I know I can get my PS5 and all these games and all my library on my P4 upraised and a lot of the games like converted to PlayStation 5 versions. Like it's gonna be a good Christmas for me.
Oh.
Well, as far as expectations are concerned, I definitely think Sony. Well, it's kind of a catch-22 because I did expect to see more stuff that was just new. I did expect to see like more just straight up bangers, like bang bang. This is gonna be the new Infamous. This is gonna be the new Killzone. Do you know what I'm saying? I was expecting to see a lot more old franchises returning and stuff. It seems to me that this was a little bit more about basically taking all of the bullets out of Microsoft's chambers. So we had one of the things that's been working really well for Xbox has been the Game Pass. So with Sony basically announcing their own counter version, it was like it was basically taking that bullet out of the chamber with them basically getting Call of Duty and making sure it stays, that PlayStation is still the home of Call of Duty. Once again, they're taking out the bullets from the chamber with the pricing of the console. Do you know what I'm saying? It's very similar. Well, especially in our territory, the UK, the pricing is really similar and it's really good. It's really competitive for what Microsoft are offering. Like you do get some. Like I've got a friend on my Facebook who's actually trying to defend the pricing of the Xbox S, saying that it's still got to be running at the same frame rate as the X and stuff like that. It's like, what are you talking about, man? It's like you're gonna be paying slightly less to get a lesser performing version of the Xbox. But as you stated before earlier, like you're gonna be paying less, and or you're good. It's not gonna have a disk drive, but it's still gonna be a fully featured PlayStation 4. I mean PlayStation 5. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Even though this was mainly about taking the bullets out of Microsoft's chamber, I definitely do feel like they did enough to solidify purchases from anyone who would call themselves a gamer. Stuff like Miles Morales looked real good. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to say, yeah, it looks like a PlayStation 4 game, but better. And it does have that kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? It does have that kind of next gen PlayStation 4 look and stuff, but everything else there, well, most of the other stuff there was really cool. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Demon Souls for me personally is what did it. I'm a huge From Software fan, so when I saw that, I was like, that I was sold off the rip. So yeah. So what do you guys think about the price? Do you reckon the price is good? Do you reckon it's gonna be? Do you reckon it's gonna hold back consumers, or is it gonna be like on like Ariston from day one?
I,
It's looking. Oh no.
I
Um,
honestly think the price is very friendly. You know what I'm saying? It's very friendly. You got two versions. A download only version for for 349 pounds or 399 US dollars, and then for 100 more you get you get the disc version as well. So I mean, I've talked to a lot of people about this, and it's kind of strange to me, but I have to look at myself as well. Um, Digital might be the way to go. In some
Yeah.
cases, digital might be the way to go. I have friends that only download games now.
Well,
You know,
definitely if you don't want to be eating ramen noodles for the rest of that month, you know what I'm saying? Digital is definitely the way to go because in the US, you're going to pay 500 plus tax plus a game. Like, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And it's going to be full price. See, that's the thing. That's what I say. Like, the digital version, even though it looks like the cheaper option, it's immediately going to become the more expensive option in the long run, especially
yeah,
in the
yeah.
earlier
Yeah, of
version.
course, of course. That's why they're willing to take the hit on the initial price on the console, right? But
Yeah.
like, let me put it to perspective. You can look on Amazon right now. You can get a PlayStation Pro for 429, and there's people buying these consoles for PlayStation 4 is the best selling console of all time. So we know that people have been buying them in droves. So you can buy one for 429 right now. Like, there's no way that anybody who's on the fence about a console who's even I think even the people at 349, the people who are just, oh well, I got a pro, like I'm still gonna buy like a PlayStation 5 on launch and I got a pro less than 6-7 months ago. You know what I mean?
Right,
And I
right.
got my full TV, and it's not because I'm looking at it as, oh, cool. I'm just gonna be buying a brand new thing that I was willing to pay an extra £150 for because it would be the new thing. And now that it's come in at such a low price point, it's just gonna be really hard for people not to have a PlayStation in their house. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's it's gonna be, you've got the S, which is the Xbox console, and then what, the next Switch is gonna be what are we looking at, 300? Switches are still 300 brand new off the rip. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So for £50 more, you're competing in a territory where, that quality wise, there's going to be nobody that can compete with
exactly.
PlayStation at that price. It's literally like taking a friggin' Ferrari and just repurposing the body. Oh no, taking a Ferrari and just putting maybe like a little slightly smaller engine in it and just selling it as a fucking Ford Focus, or you know what I mean, like just an everyday car. You know what I mean? Who's not gonna buy that? You know, because it is a premium product that's just a little bit less price than something with a disk drive. I don't see how you're not gonna buy a PlayStation. Like,
Well,
Exactly.
here's the thing. It's still a PlayStation 5. There's no like decrease in performance apart from the fact that it hasn't got a disk drive. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's that that's where like Sony really have the edge and whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the S is going to be that little bit cheaper, but it's going to be a lesser performing console. But because Microsoft do have the payment plan, that's going to be interesting to see how many people actually, you know what I'm saying, go for that and opt for that. But I reckon the pricing is very competitive, to tell the truth, because I initially wrote off the digital one. I think digital is cool. With my Nintendo Switch, I'm mostly digital. I get a lot of games on that digital, and I really do see the merits, especially with my Xbox One X and stuff like that. I'm definitely digital. But I do prefer. I love my game collection. I love my game cases. I love having being able to have a collection I can look at and hold, especially with certain games. So when they announced both, I was thinking, hey, I'm just gonna get the physical and, you know what I'm saying, do what I've been doing the whole time. But because the pricing is so competitive on the digital one, I'm actually thinking of pre-ordering the digital one. You know what I'm saying? And just taking the initial hit that is going to be coming through in the early months, because it's going to be disgusting. If you get the digital one, just know it's going to be disgusting. We're going to be paying full price for
Every
third
game.
party games which are
Yeah,
terrible. Imagine playing, but real talk, imagine paying full price for something like Madden or FIFA, something where EA didn't put in any work
exactly.
whatsoever,
yeah,
and we're just
yeah,
gonna have to just take that. The
yeah.
only That's what I'm saying. Having the digital version is only gonna really start to show its promise and really start working for us as consumers when we're about a year or two into the generation and we start having more sales and whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
even
yeah,
even with even when that happens and stuff like that, depending on the size of the hard drive, if we got PlayStation Plus with all these new games we're gonna be getting from the Game Pass like service, our hard drives are gonna be full up like
yeah,
quickly. So
yeah,
hopefully the digital comes with a big enough hard drive.
yeah.
Well,
I,
I think the hard drive thing. I'm not sure about PS5, but I can imagine them not having the external hard drive feature on there.
Definitely,
You
definitely. But
know.
you don't have to rely on that because nowadays these
Mm.
games have so much updates. Like I am terrified every time I feel like playing Halo 5. I am terrified because it's like 150 gig for the install, no launching, and that's before the updates. So you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? That's it downloading all the native 4K stuff, and um then it's got to do the updates. Like the Xbox One X with the native 4K patches and stuff, that it was a really good idea, but I think it was just poorly implemented. Maybe that all that stuff should have been on the disc. So I don't know. Maybe because of the new nature of these machines, maybe the like the downloads and stuff like that won't be so huge and stuff.
Yeah,
But
it was what I was thinking was because the way I've become, I'm the type of consumer that I went really digital really quick, but it was I can't really see myself going back to not being digital. So it's really good that all of us are in this conversation because I think we've got people that are at different points of their of how they buy their games. And to be honest, like as long as the digital version has a big enough hard drive, like I can't see it being an issue. But supposedly with the next generation of console, the way games are made, and what with the external hard drive thing as well is now if it's running off a normal external hard drive, how is that going to affect the performance of the game and the loading when it comes to playing it off? You know what I'm saying? The actual external hard drive opposed from the SSD, which is going to be actually in the console.
that's interesting. Yeah, like how much of that? How much is the SSD is actually going to be reserved for performance? Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I
And
just
storage.
looked it up right now. And it's gonna be about 200 gigabytes left, taken away for the performance and everything. So you'll be
Okay.
left with about 800 gigabytes of solid state hard drive for games.
Oof, oof. That's not good. I'm not gonna lie. That's
But
not
what
good.
what but here's the thing, maybe you can, get an internal one. I don't know if this one you can change it out, but
Yeah, it's
just
probably
get.
gonna be like the PlayStation 4 where you can change it out.
That's, do you know
But
what I
that's the
think?
thing. We have to buy an SSD, and them shits are
Yeah,
expensive.
that's what this is. This is
Okay.
this is what I'm thinking. And when I saw the price, and I'm gonna be this is crazy of me because this is the tech nerd in me. And I saw the price, and first thing I was like, was right, like it's cheap. I'm getting one 110%. And then I was like, oh, that's how you're gonna make money.
Because they're gonna
Because
start selling their own
because
SSDs.
let's for instance, I've got a 2 terabyte normal hard drive here, right? So for instance, if I want to be able to play Miles Morales and I want to be able to load the city in from one side to the other, I have to have that on my actual solid state. So let's just say I've got that Call of Duty, because that's 100 plus gigs. I've got Red Dead Redemption, that's 100 plus gigs. GTA, that's you know what I'm saying. So I've just got those games on there, and those games are going to be able to run at a great performance. But what about the other games and the rest of my collection that I'm going to have on my external hard drive? Is it going to be the same thing as in I'm going to have to wait for this? There's not going to be any performance difference. I want to hear more about that. Is how you're gonna how you're gonna make my previous purchases on my PS4 make sense when I'm crossing over? Because that's my whole thing. Is I was getting ready to for the first 6 months of having a console to just be replaying games that I hadn't actually got around to playing the last generation in the best possible quality. So
Yeah.
60 frames a second, ray tracing on, all that sort of stuff, 4K, blah 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 blah. That was my aim. So I just really want to find out how that's gonna work in the next gen. But as far as like the actual console itself, you're getting the exact same thing for 100. I don't and that's what I'm saying is the Blu-ray drive really $100, like £100? Like I don't understand the $100 price difference. I thought it was gonna be maybe 50,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
hundred
yeah.
dollars, I'm not really too sure about unless they're just sherpering people into getting a digital console, which I think that's what it is. Is I think the price difference is less, oh yeah, how much of a hit we're gonna take, and more of, all right, we want people to buy more digitally, so we're gonna push them towards this digital console by having a £100 price difference. So
But
I
I
mean,
reckon
I'm already
I reckon so sorry to interrupt you, but I reckon that definitely comes down to profitability because when the PlayStation 4 launched, the machine was profitable. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas the PlayStation 3 wasn't. Sony made $18 on every PlayStation 4 sold. So I definitely reckon they're looking to be profitable. So you're definitely right. Having a Blu-ray drive definitely doesn't push up the price $100. So what they are looking to do is I reckon they're definitely looking to keep their profit margin. And if consumers buy digitally, especially in the well, of course, actually, when they buy digitally, they're gonna make the same profit margin and more back. Because from when you buy two games, you've made the profit margin back. And on launch, everybody's gonna at least have to buy one game or subscribe to PlayStation Plus. Do you know what I'm saying? So the profit margin is going to be right back. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether we buy digital one or not. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be able to keep that $18, which I reckon is the most important thing to them. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it definitely looks like there's a lot more technology going on in this console, especially with the controller, which is one thing I'm really excited about. The adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback and everything. I'm not gonna lie, this conference, that's the thing. Even though this conference was good, there's still so much we don't even know about the console itself. They haven't even shown anything about the operating system or really gone into anything details with the controller or anything. I don't know if they're waiting for another show or anything, but do you know what I'm saying? This console is still pretty much a mystery. We don't
And
know if you
we've got 2 months.
2 months. Oh wow.
Yes,
What date is
November
it again?
19th. The November 19th. November 19th. Well, and
Ooh.
I think in some other places like November 12th. So
I think you'll get. I think the US is getting it on the 12th.
okay. Well, yeah, it'll be then. I know I'll have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally gonna stay up till midnight and go and reserve this tonight. So um
So
what do
what's
you guys think
what?
about
Go on.
what do you
Sorry.
think about, because I know you mentioned that you like tech and everything. What do you think about hybrid solid state hard drives for the console?
Um, I reckon. Well, I reckon that it's gonna be future proof. So I reckon it'll be able to support that. Do you know what I'm saying? I reckon that's gonna be one of the main things about this console. It's gonna be future proof, and it's
Mm.
that it's definitely gonna be able to be compatible with what's coming. Um, 8K. Um, is it 8K capable? I've heard
Yes,
stuff.
it is. Yep.
Yes, it is. So there you go. If it's 8K capable and whatnot, I definitely reckon it's gonna have enough technology to see it through and stuff. I actually wanna see more about the other features and stuff that comes with the operating system and shit. Do you know what I'm saying? I want them to reveal more stuff about what they're doing and stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that, definitely.
But
I,
yeah, yeah, go on.
I found it really interesting that I heard that basically with the SSD games should technically be smaller. How much smaller we don't know, but like they should technically be smaller because a lot of the space for games that is used now, like repurposing textures and just having those things in somewhat of a random access memory sort of place on the disk, so it doesn't have to go so far to get that information, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So they're saying that with the solid state drives, technically there shouldn't be need for so much information to be accessed so randomly. So it can maybe funnel and streamline a lot of the actual size of a game and how it actually streams from the system, which technically in theorem should make for faster games and smaller game sizes. But obviously we don't know anything yet. And right now, every time there's a what I'm saying, update for Call of Duty, I have a heart attack because I'm just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
bro, am I gonna have to sacrifice something? And like
And
my
that
play,
is a good segue. I'm so sorry. Speaking of Call of Duty, oh my God, how times have changed. Now, do you remember there was once a time when Call of Duty and Xbox used to be like this?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now Call of Duty can't even get a call. Microsoft can't even get a call from them. They don't even
Yeah.
answer their messages or anything. Not
bro,
only did you know what I'm saying, like the PlayStation players getting the beta and stuff like that next week.
I thought,
Word,
It's
bro,
this week, I thought. I
word.
thought this Friday.
this
Just
is what I'm saying.
Friday.
It's do you know what it is that I don't know what it was about this PlayStation generation that has really just set Sony way apart from its competitors, but it's just I want to say it's the exclusives because the exclusives this generation have been outrageous on PlayStation, and I
No,
think
they've
that
been good,
They
but
have.
to tell the truth, yeah, they haven't. This hasn't been Sony's best generation. You know, it's not. This generation has not been as good as the PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1 generation for
well,
exclusives, fam. Not
yeah, do
even
you know what?
close. Not
I
even
think
close.
I think that's a very good argument. You might not think it's close, but I would say that this generation arguably has had some of the most impactful like exclusives, like Ghost of like every up until the very
It's been
last one, like Ghost of
it's been good.
Tsushima was
It's
a
been good.
masterpiece. God of War was a
It's been very
masterpiece.
good. It's
You know
very
what I
good.
mean?
Like
Like
Bloodborne is
for
my
me
favorite game
personally,
of the generation. Yeah, that's what's no, no. Sony definitely brought it. Like this and last generation. They definitely showed that their first party studios are they're up there with Nintendo. Do you know what I'm saying? They have showed they've definitely showed that Nintendo and Sony do different things, but they are up there with them, and they've definitely proved that. But that being said, this is definitely not their best generation. I said, like the PlayStation 2 generation was horrible. Like I've been like collecting for GameCube lately, and there's certain times when I'm like, oh man, that shit didn't come out on GameCube, did it? And then you look at it, like the PlayStation had games it shouldn't have had as exclusives. The Devil May Cry was exclusive, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Resident Evil, it's like it was crazy out there, man. It was, but what they
but
did
then
with the PlayStation 4, it was ridiculous, and it's the fact that Sony did it themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no third parties or anything. Like Sony came out with God of War, Bloodborne. And like I'm gonna lose some points for this, but I've still got a lot of respect for what they were trying to do with the order. I reckon if there was a lot more gameplay in that, like just a couple more hours gameplay and maybe a multiplayer mode for the campaign, that would have been a solid title and shit like that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not
I,
the worst game. It's just short and there wasn't that much gameplay. It looked amazing though. Um,
I have
but
to agree with that, by the way. I have to
you
agree
have
with
to.
that.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. The orders. That's what I'm saying. People hate on the orders. Like the orders. Like when you actually play, when it's actually being a game, it's actually quite good. But it was a movie, man. Do you know what I'm saying? It was more
I,
movie than.
I I'll say this, like, we met back when we had these console wars and everything, and
Mm,
like PS2 collection, I fuck with it. PS3 collection, I thought that was amazing. I
mm,
thought what we've been through for the PS3 era, as a Sony fan, I thought it was incredible. Being down, the whole beginning, and then through the middle and through the end, we had incredible games that Xbox couldn't even match.
mm.
PS4, I think they did enough to make us happy. I think they did good enough to make us happy. It wasn't too crazy, but it was also really good. And I think the PS5, I think they're really gonna show their ass on this one.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
really
yeah. Definitely,
they're
definitely.
already doing it.
Yeah, I was about to say the way they're starting the generation is Ratchet and Clank at launch and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. They're actually taking a pee. If you can't have Ratchet and Clank and Miles Morales at launch, they're actually. That's what I'm saying. Sony, woof, woof, Microsoft, man. No wonder like no wonder they're like basically giving away their console because especially because they've put back hate. So anyway, let's go back to before we get into how Microsoft are going to react. So the games, like let's talk about the actual games. What do you think of what they showed? Like, what do you think of the games they showed? Let's start with Miles Morales. Like, what do you think of Miles Morales?
I thought it looked great, man. I thought it looked great. I understand what you guys were saying earlier about how it looked like a PS4 game and whatnot, but I really didn't see that. But then again, I really didn't play the Spider-Man game that came out on PS4.
Okay,
I,
okay.
I didn't really play. I have it, and I did play it for about, I don't know, an hour or two, but I didn't really get like a fair judgment on it. So to me, that game looks incredible. It looks like a PS5 game.
yeah.
So
Okay.
no, so uh
Well, okay, staying on Miles Morales, like obviously I platinum that, like unfortunately, like fortunately,
Okay.
I love that shit. I was just saying that's one of my proud pets. I don't have many of them. But like, yeah, I put a lot of hours into that game, and I'm just really interested to see what they do with the story. Like, I
me
Okay.
too.
really like, because me as a I'm into comics, but I've not really had the opportunity to be able to be hands on with a lot of comics, so I don't know a lot of Miles Morales' comic book story. So this will be a good time for me to kind of like get reintroduced to like that character again. And from the last wasn't it Sony movie Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
I really dug that. I really dug that story. I dug the character. So I'm just really interested in being able to take, you know what I'm saying, all these hours of beating thugs in these New York streets and put them behind, you know what I'm saying, the brother, because yeah, Mars is an interesting character to me, and I've always like, you know what I'm saying, seen that character and been like, yeah, I'm interested in knowing more. So yeah, it does look P5, it does look P4ish because it has a lot of the same exact same like
DNA.
indicator as the last game. So when you're seeing like the counter, how to counter moves and stuff like that, it's all the same icon. So it kind of keeps it really, really, really familiar
Mm-hmm.
to the last one. But I mean, effects wise, you can see that they've kind of like upped it, especially when he was walking through the market and stuff like that. I was like,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
cool. I can see, you know what I'm saying? There's some ray traced effects on there, you know what I'm saying? Like the light. I think the lighting's what's gonna be the big, huge difference this generation, and how none of these companies have been able to snag up a game like Cyberpunk to actually show off themselves. That just shows how much clout CD Projekt Red have right now. But I mean,
Mhm.
like a game like that, I think would be a great showcase of what the consoles are going to do. But Miles Morales really blew my mind, like with just how nice and how cool it seems like the city's gonna be. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who don't like seeing New York with Puerto Rican flags up, and you know what I'm saying, in winter? Like, it's gonna be a whole different feel. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, my
Right.
Miles Morales, even though in a way it does look like um an expansion or whatever, DLC, whatever, it does look good. It does look good. And you can definitely tell it has a lot of the same DNA from the PlayStation 4 game, but I reckon that's going to be more of a technical showcase for the performance and raw computing of the PlayStation 5. So I reckon it's going to load like that. You're going to just be zooping around the city, just doing everything, and it's going to be mad quick. You're going to finish the game like in about 6-8 hours. You're going to be like, how did I do that so quickly? Do you know what I'm saying?
And
Because there was no loading. Do you know what I'm
just
saying?
on just that's a good point that you brought up, because that is, I'm gonna be honest, that's probably the most exciting thing about the next generation.
Correct.
That do you know what I mean? Like
But I
I
don't
was
reckon it's gonna be like that with every game and stuff like that. I reckon with
I
games that look
yeah,
like, do you know what I'm saying? Like they could have kind of got away with it last gen. I reckon for the first 2 years, we might get quick loading, but once they start getting that code into the metal, it's gonna be the same again. It's gonna
yeah.
have to be.
No, I think that yeah, I think when the games start getting a lot bigger and we start actually pushing what we can do graphically in the graphical fidelity department, I think definitely what you're saying is gonna be true. But like for me, like I play Apex like religiously. I play Warframe religiously. I'm really excited to see what the P5 versions of these games are gonna be, because like you've got loads of live service games that are looking to really like they're gonna keep going on for years. So they're gonna have to change with the next generation, and that's really what I'm excited about as well. And I haven't seen anything about what our games are gonna be like on the next generation. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see Apex Legends running at 120 frames. You know what I'm saying, with ray traced effects, with all the smog and shit. And that's what I want. And they haven't really showed any of that, which is cool. But yeah, that would pull me in if they came through and they said, "Hey, this is what your stuff is gonna look like on the next gen." I would have been sold like already, like way time ago. You know what I mean? But they haven't done that, so hopefully.
So okay,
Honestly.
so what did you guys think of Final Fantasy?
Um, Final Fantasy 16. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really played Final Fantasy like that. For a long time until Final Fantasy 7, the new remake. But I will say, this one it actually looks pretty good. It actually looks pretty damn good. And this is one of those games I'm actually interested in buying. I don't know much about the story. I don't know if this is a newer story or anything like that, but so far so good, man. And I think it's an exclusive game, correct?
Yeah, console exclusive,
Yeah,
so it'll
console
probably be on
exclusive.
PC as
So
well.
I have to buy the console exclusives. I mean, one thing about Sony games, and this is why I like Sony a lot, is that their exclusive games have a lot more detail than the multi-platform games or the games that Xbox even has exclusives. Like
Definitely.
their development and their standards for production, it's always A1.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
this is the game that I'm gonna get. So that I'm definitely excited for it, especially for someone like me that's not really into the series like that anymore.
Yeah.
Excited for it. Just based off the fighting system alone, it kind of reminds me of the new Final Fantasy VII system that they had. So I fuck with it. I think it's gonna be a good one.
T, what about you?
I'm in. I'm all in. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna. I watched it and I was like, because I've been a Final Fantasy kid from like obviously original seven. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna
Hmm.
sit here and say I've really like played all the first ones and stuff like that. But from seven onwards, I was in. So the fact that they've gone to like medieval times and it's like Game of Fantasy instead of like Game of Thrones, like it looks crazy. Like I mean, I'm in for it. Like the fighting system looks nuts. It just looks like an evolution of what they've been doing. Um, and I just yeah, it's Square Enix. Their games just look amazing, and they always seem to captivate me every time I see them on the screen. So there's not much that they could show me that I'm not gonna be like, yeah, you know what, I'm in, or I'm at least interested in seeing what's going on here. So yeah, they did what they needed to do to get me interested in that. You know what I mean? And they've still got part two of Final Fantasy VII Remake, which
Well, this is exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, when is this gonna actually be coming out? Because they still got part two of Final Fantasy to come out, and they're
Mhm.
definitely gonna re-release the first part on PlayStation 5. Don't think that's coming 2021. So there'll probably be another um show for the PlayStation 5 just before it comes out, just to announce other stuff, and that will be part of it. Trust me, that's gonna get announced.
Hmm.
But this new Final Fantasy game, I, I'm not getting too hyped about it for the simple fact that I know that Square Enix can take years to develop games and shit like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And
mm, mm.
you know what I'm saying? It's probably gonna change like 25 times before it comes out. So should that game come out anytime soon and stuff like that, cool. Do you know what I'm saying? But do you know what I'm saying? But then again, do you know what I'm saying? The fact that they begun the conference with that as a console exclusive, that's like shots fired. Like just shots fired. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah, that was hard.
they didn't they didn't come to play at all. That was just literally them saying shots fired, man. This ain't coming to Xbox. Nah, do you know what I'm saying? It's like already they gave the Sony fan base something to say, because that's definitely like even though it's gonna take 45 million years to come out, when it does come out, it'll probably be worth it. So do you know what I'm saying? That's usually how
Definitely.
these things go. What else
Def-
did they have? I didn't really catch too much of the Resident Evil 8 trailer. I always keep missing that. What was that saying?
I'm really honest. I'm not the biggest Resident Evil fan, but
Okay.
I thought it looked good. I thought it looked good, but for the people that like it, I'm pretty sure they're gonna buy it. It's gonna sell a million copies for sure.
Mm.
But am I gonna get it? Nah, it wasn't really a selling point for me. Neither was Devil May Cry. Um, you know,
Okay.
yeah, neither was Devil May Cry a selling point for me. I mean, I fuck with those. I fuck with Devil May Cry, and I'll probably get it, but it's not like something that screams out to me like I want to buy a console because of this. Um, I fuck with it though. But yeah, I mean that's all I have to say in regards to that. One thing I am interested in. I want to hear y'all thoughts is Odds World, man. What do you guys think about that?
T, you feel that?
Abe is my nigga from day one. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I can say this on the platform, but that's my nigga from day one. You know what I mean? Me and Abe, I mean, escaping that initial factory.
Age, age
Grab,
lives matter,
turn me
alright?
into a little A burger, man. Yeah, nah. I'm gonna be real with you. Like that's one of my most memorable PlayStation memories is
Yeah.
playing that game because I don't know. I can't remember exactly what year it was, but I do remember it was at a stage where I was good enough at video games to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like play with my older brothers and stuff like that, and I was like really, really good at it. And it was just one of those games that like it scared you a little bit, and it was weird, it was cool, and to see it
So
come back,
basically, it's got that nostalgia value for this. Got that
yeah,
nostalgic.
and you know, to be honest, like I haven't been let down by a lot of these nostalgia chips. Like maybe a couple years ago, like that, but now like usually they pull the right strings and they're like, ah, yeah, you got it pretty right. So
Okay.
I'm down for it. I'm down for it. I'm down for it. I mean, what would? But my whole thing is, what would have been a game that could have been announced that wasn't announced that would have made you look go, okay, cool, like it's over.
Well, all right. Well. Just look. Well, let me just put my 2 cents in on Abe and Devil May Cry quickly. Abe, yeah, it's just basically a nostalgia trip. Do you know what I'm saying? It was just that was pretty much safe, I guess. Do you know what I'm saying? There's, I guess Abe's Odyssey must have a big fan base because they keep bringing him out and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? This isn't the first time he's come back and stuff. So I think there was one on the PlayStation 4 or something, and or another. And I know
There was
one
a
came out.
remake. I want to say.
Huh?
I want to say it was a remake.
Yeah. There you go. Do you know what I'm saying? I know that, and I know one came out fairly recently, and so do you know what I'm saying? I guess it's good to have more Abe and stuff. The nostalgia thing works and stuff. So yeah, it's cool. It has a fan base and stuff. It's cool. Abe's cool. As for Devil May Cry 5, I completely understand why anyone wouldn't be overwhelmed with what it is and stuff. This is literally like the special edition. And to tell the truth, this out of all of them, I reckon this one is just above Devil May Cry 2. Do you know what I'm saying? This isn't one of the best ones out of all of them. I didn't like this one that much. I literally rushed through the game and stuff just to get to the end. There wasn't that much that I liked about it. That being said, if it is cheap, being that it's a digital only title and stuff, I reckon it'll do very well on PlayStation 5, especially in Japan. I reckon that's mainly what it's for, to tell the truth. A lovely title that would just get Japanese gamers on board and stuff. So being if it's cheap and stuff, that's probably gonna be the first game I buy. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably gonna be the first game I buy. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Yeah, I
yo,
know.
yo.
But I'm a Devil May Cry fan and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep it real. That's probably gonna be like the first game I buy.
This
So
man.
Wow.
that and Ratchet and Clank. But yeah, it's not all that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not all that. It's like the same as having Grand Theft Auto and down shit like that. Do you know what I'm saying? But as for what you were saying, what game would I have wanted? I think Bloodborne 2 would have made me go crazy and stuff
Yeah,
because I really did like what I saw of Demon Souls. What they did with Demon Souls um was really good because
Yeah.
they've really capitalized on the atmosphere. One of the things I noticed in the trailer is that there was just no music in the gameplay. It was just literally nothing but atmosphere. So you know that playing that on your own at night, you're actually going to be terrified. Do you know what I'm saying? It's actually going to be scary because of especially with all the 3D audio and all that stuff. Yeah, games like
That's what I feel about this generation is I feel like there's so many things that can't necessarily be shown that are like next generational things. Like you can't really convey 120 frames a second to anybody because nobody's got TVs that run at 120 hertz. You know what I mean? You can't really explain like 8K to people because it doesn't really make sense. You know what I mean? Because they can't. I didn't understand the difference between 1080p and 4K until I got a 4K TV, and now I can't watch anything else. Like it's like I couldn't. Like if I go over to other people's houses and play on their system, I'm like, nah, B, I cannot see. The colors are not right. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So there is a marketable difference from these different technical leaps that we can't necessarily see that's hard to convey. So until we get that, and I don't think we've got that. This is the next generation game. You know what I mean? We haven't got that game that's really made us all sit up and go, okay. So
well, it might be God of War. It might be God of War because boy, like if they're saying next year, I don't reckon they'd bring it out next year if they're if it's not gonna be that game. I reckon that's gonna be a killer app. they're definitely bringing that out to make sure nobody gives a damn about Halo.
Yeah, no, of course. But the thing about it is my whole thing about God of War is that's going to be built. Do you think it's going to be built on the ground? If it's coming out 2021, do you think it's going to be built from the ground up on P5? Because they would have had to have that development kit from time ago. Because it's going to have to be maybe not a totally different engine, but it's definitely going to have to be so modified and upgraded that it's going to have to be like a marketable difference. You know what I mean? If it's so my whole question is it going to be on the same? Is it going to be built in the same engine? Because if it's going to be,
I was just about to say, I reckon they're definitely going to use the same the combat and camera engine. I reckon the majority is going to be the same engine, but they're just going to be able to do so much more. I reckon it's just going to look so much better because that whole everything about that engine really works for storytelling and a narrative, and that's like one of the most important parts of God of War at this point, especially because it's going to be the one where Kratos dies and stuff. So yeah.
Alert.
Huh?
The spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry. But do you know what I'm saying? It works well. So I reckon what they're gonna do is emphasize scale and not more. The levels are gonna be a lot bigger, and the set pieces are gonna be even more crazier. And that's nuts to think, because what they've done with the one that they have on PlayStation 4 is already like ridiculous. But I reckon just the sense is gonna be a lot bigger.
I need that God of War. Remember God of War? Was it God of War 3? When the beginning of the game is you literally running up the side of the Titan.
Yeah, that was God of War
that
3.
That for me was like, oh
yeah, that was the best intro ever.
And it pulls out and you're literally in the whole Titan and then it goes back in and it's all gameplay because you've been moving Kratos through the level the whole time. That's what I need to see from this next one. I need to see some big bombastic just craziness.
Well, that's what God of War is about. So, you know what I'm saying? You don't even have to pet for that. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't even have to pet for that. That's going to be there. That is going to be there.
I think the game that's going to show us, at least in the beginning, a glimpse of what next gen is really going to be like is Ratchet and Clank. Every time
that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No, go on.
Every time they come out with Ratchet and Clank, since the beginning of it, they've always kind of came out around the launch date, and they've always kind of pushed the boundaries. The first Ratchet and Clank that came out for PS3, I remember that's when they introduced real time gameplay. So like you really couldn't tell like you weren't in a cutscene at certain points in the game.
Yeah.
And then the one on the PS4, they did things as well to kind of show you what this is gonna be, what it's gonna be like. So whenever for Sony at least, when they release Ratchet and Clank, and that's around the first game they're gonna release. That's what I'm looking forward to see. Look forward to what's coming up, because they even said it. Ratchet and Clank is coming out launch, and they're talking about it having no loading screens. Everything's gonna be seamless. You can kind of go in and out of places without loading at all. So, I mean, this is the game that's going to demonstrate what we can do, and then the sky's the limit from there.
Yeah. Can we just get like a video of the console booting up? Somebody clicking through the menu right quick, clicking on the game, and then coming out the game, letting the game load up, playing a little 2 seconds of it, jumping out the game and jumping into another game. That's all I need. That's what we need.
I'm saying that's the crack we need, but they ain't gonna give it to us. You know that.
That's what, bro. It's only 2 months, bro. They literally gotta give it to us now, bro.
No, well, here's the thing. This is what takes the mick, because we get it on the 19th and everybody else gets it on the 12th and stuff. We're gonna be seeing people with theirs.
Yeah.
YouTube is gonna be crazy.
I'm turning off my YouTube for that week, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's gonna be nuts, fam. It's like, no. And plus, it's gonna be our birthdays around that time and stuff. No, hell no.
Facts. Happy birthday, man. That would be dope.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking to enjoy that. May and I ain't talking at the moment, but I hope she gets her stuff together around that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to her. What are y'all like? Y'all got any final thoughts on this or anything, or?
Well, what are Microsoft gonna do to counter it? Do you reckon Microsoft are gonna be able to counter the PlayStation 5? Do you reckon they have a good enough? Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, no. Here's the better question. Who is going to buy an Xbox as a second console?
Most people.
Because that's the question. My whole question is this: is now that I know the PlayStation 5 is gonna be 349, I could literally just grab an Xbox on finance every month and be cool with it. I'd be fine with it. Like with Game Pass, and I get access to all their exclusives day one on Game Pass, if that's how it works, bro. I could,
I reckon
that's
that's what
half.
they're
That's
banking
that's
on.
half of a phone contract. B.
Yeah, I
That's
reckon.
half of it.
I really reckon that's what they're banking on because I don't reckon like because of the way Sony countered because that's what I'm saying. Even with that new version of PlayStation Plus where you get all the older games and then you get the third party games as well, it's like, man, they even got a counter for Game Pass, man. Dang.
Yeah,
PlayStation 5 is not playing around. So PlayStation 5 is definitely going to be the console that gamers go out and buy. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Xbox is definitely going to be the secondary console, and it's gonna be interesting to see what people get. If people get can you get the S on finance or can you get the Series X on finance as well?
You can get both of them. The Series X is 35 a month, and the Series S is 25 a month, and they
so
both come with Ultimate or
so
whatever.
so explain this whole finance thing to me. So because I didn't see this about the Xbox. So you can finance the Xbox.
It's basically like layaway. Like where how people used to go into like stores and stuff like that and like get big items but like pay it off.
Uh-huh.
Basically, that's so you'd be in for a 24-month contract which you can't cancel, and you just what I'm saying, pay off your console within that 24 months. So within 2 years.
All
And
right. So I got a credit card for that, man. So I mean, I don't. I just don't see.
and
I mean, most stores, not most stores. I mean, I don't know about out there, but there's quite a few stores out here that offer layaway.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean,
they don't really do that over here. They don't really
Mm.
oh,
do that over
all
here.
right. Well, they do it out here, and like I said, I have credit cards and stuff that have 0% interest. I mean, I don't, I just don't see that as a selling point for me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe for other people, but for me, I don't see that.
Like, yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I reckon there'll be that percentage of people that do purchase the console like that. It's just how many people is that actually gonna be? Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Is it gonna be like basically Sony's probably gonna end up coming out on top again? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you didn't learn this generation to buy your butt a PlayStation in the beginning, you are a fool. You are actually a fool. Like there's a lot of Xbox guys that's straight up in denial right now, but
Yeah.
there's certain guys that's just gotta be looking at their machine like, man, we ain't got nothing to play, and these guys are gonna have all this stuff on day one. Like
Yeah.
GTA 5, yeah, like when you think about it, that's nothing, that's not all that, but it's all that. Do you know what I'm saying? When you think about all the stuff you have, you're gonna have Devil May Cry, you're gonna have Ratchet and Clank, you're gonna
Days
have
Gone.
Call of Duty, you're gonna have all these other games and stuff, and you're gonna have GTA 5 multiplayer and stuff. Oh no. And is it free on PlayStation? Did they say it was free or something?
I think it's free. Yeah, I think it's
That's what
free.
I'm saying. That's ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous. So, and with the and you can and you're gonna be able to play all the old PlayStation 4 games and stuff. Oh no. Oh no. I'm really not sure what Microsoft can do, especially since they delayed Halo.
That's
I'm
a fact.
really I'm really not sure what Microsoft can do.
Hey man, Microsoft is doomed, man. They're doomed. Like
I
you said, man. Like they're doomed,
had to
man.
bring that back. You have to think
Yeah.
that, but it's true. Doomed, doomed,
Yeah,
doomed,
man. Microsoft is doomed, man. They're doomed. You know,
doomed.
I don't I I don't see them being in the AAA console market for too many
no.
more generations if this keeps going on. Do you know what I mean? Which is fine because I feel like a middle ground is where the industry may be going. You know what I mean? Because there are gonna be people who are not necessarily living in art. Because there's a lot of the world that is now playing video games that are not gonna be like us and are not gonna have the money to get a console straight away, even though they're dirt cheap to us. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there are some people that 300 is still like in Australia that 300 is still like something like $800 there like money. You
yeah.
know what I mean? They're still paying whatever crazy import tax and shit like that. So I feel like
So
Xbox is gonna have
basically, Xbox can be popping, but in Brazil, basically, they could be popping, but in Brazil.
I feel like
I mean,
I feel like if they're gonna survive, they're gonna have to eat out a middle market, and they're gonna have to create a middle market. Like I don't see them, I don't see them competing with PlayStation game for game, console for console, price for price. I don't see them doing that. Sony's got too much of a leg up right now. So I think the smart thing for Xbox to do right now would be to say, all right, cool. Let's see if we can make our
Move into upper
um
markets. Xbox in Ghana.
um,
Xbox
yeah no
Ghana.
look,
not just Xbox in Ghana, but you know what I mean. I mean, just figuring out where they can be at because they can't compete right now. They can't. There's no world where they can sit up and compete with Sony and all the games that they got and everything that they got going for them right now. And they've got huge market share now. Like, come on now, bro. Like, the
Yeah,
only way I see Microsoft surviving is by making a middle market. You know what I mean? Like for those people who don't really want to invest, but then who don't want to invest for £50 more? Like right
yeah.
now, they need to make the Xbox like 200. Then you know what I'm saying. Then they can talk. But then that's peanuts market. You're gonna have to sell a million, like a
Mic-
billion.
Microsoft is dead. They're gonna be sitting up there. They ain't even gonna be competing with Sony. They're gonna be competing with Google Stadia or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be competing like Sony. Look, it ain't even a competition at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, Google Stadia, they sold over, over in India and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't sell in America. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're gonna be competing at Xbox. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I ain't even worried about them. They're doomed,
Because
and they're done.
I honestly don't remember any of the games, but from the Xbox reveal, bar Halo, and that's because it was bad.
Yeah, that's what literally what I was gonna say is I remember Halo because Halo looked like garbage. So
Yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. As far as game for game go, like they can't. There's no there's no way. Unreal showed Unreal on the P5. Like it's everything. Every single maneuver that could have been a step up. They've lost every
yeah.
single fight, every single skirmish that they've had, they've lost in very very bad fashion. So that's what I'm
And
saying is I want to keep hope for Microsoft because actually you know what, fuck Bill Gates and the vaccines and shit, fuck them niggas, get them niggas go on, niggas. Sony for life, Japan for life.
Yeah, you can definitely get into the vaccine shit, man. But that's probably for another podcast.
That's a whole different podcast.
You
but
can
like
definitely
it's
get
like,
into
but
that, John.
what you said was actually right. It's like Microsoft haven't been able to get a leg up, and when they did manage to get a leg up this week with revealing the price, with have showing their deals and all that stuff, Sony just equalized now and took all the bullets out of their chambers. Yeah, Game Pass ain't worth nothing because we got our own. Your price ain't worth nothing because our pricing is decent, and and basically our
Oh, oh,
games
oh,
are
oh,
smashing
oh, oh,
yours.
oh. Hold on. Xbox do have one thing. Doesn't Game Pass have like day and date? Like aren't the Microsoft exclusive day and date on Game Pass
Yeah,
free?
but that's what I'm saying. What are you gonna
That's
play?
the
That's
only
what
thing.
you're
That's the
gonna
only thing.
play.
Hold on, no, I'm just being devil's advocate right here, but I'm just saying that's.
No, that is true.
If
That
I'm
is true. That
if
is true.
Sony turn around and go, yeah, boom, all our exclusives are going to be day one, which they're not going to do
They're
because
never
everybody,
even
you
this.
know,
Even I'm not gonna lie. Even this year, is something that's dangerous because there's gonna be that. There's gonna be that percentage of people that's gonna say, "Well, I'm gonna wait." Do you know what I'm saying? There is gonna be that percentage of people that will just wait. That will just wait it out. So it's gonna be interesting to see how long it will take for PlayStation 5 exclusives to actually come there and shit like that. Because you know what I'm saying? There will be that percentage of people that will wait it out if it's like something like 5, 6 or 8 months and shit like that. It's got to be a long over a year, like a long time over a year and shit. Do you know what I'm saying? But
Definitely.
like, it's just amazing to see how Sony just whooped that ass, man. The Sony like really spanked that ass today. They really they didn't even go all in and stuff like that. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens at the beginning. Well, I reckon it's gonna be. I reckon definitely in the beginning it's gonna be a repeat of last gen. Definitely gonna be a repeat of last gen in the beginning. Like no doubt about that.
That's a fact. Quick question: how long we going on the show?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Let's wrap it up because pre-orders are about to start, man, and I'm not finna miss that. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it gonna
I've
be
been
all right? All right, all right. Cool. So I guess like any final thoughts from anyone, man?
final thoughts, T.
Nah, man, I'm just glad to be back in this shit talking about the shit I love, you know what I mean? And hopefully
All right.
we have a lot more PlayStation exclusives to talk about in the future, you know what I mean?
That's a
All
fact.
right. First of all, I want to say, thank you for having me on the show. Appreciate you. As always, appreciate you always supporting. You know what I'm saying? Been rocking with you for a long time, so I definitely want to, just let you know I definitely appreciate you, man. And I want to come out to the UK so we can link up. You know what I'm saying? Or you come
Definitely,
to America,
definitely.
link up, man, for sure. Other than that, honestly, I'm just gonna recap, how I felt about the show. I think, this show was great. And I think this is the time. PS4 we already knew what it was, but PS5 I think it's time for us to bring back the games. To bring back what's important, and that's talking about the games. Getting in tune with them, and really just having fun again. So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah,
I'm down with it.
yeah. And I would just like to say, yeah, I agree. The show was definitely good. There could have been some more megaton moments and stuff, but I definitely reckon they did enough to like not only convince people that buying a PlayStation 5 is definitely a good choice for gamers, but to put the nail in the coffin for Microsoft. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
really interesting and really good to have you guys on the show. Hopefully we can do some more of them, especially as this console generation is heating up. Do you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be working on some music, so why not work on some game and stuff as well? Do you know what I'm saying? So
Hell yeah.
people that's watching, just stay tuned for more gaming greatness and stuff like that on the podcast, man. So yeah, I would just like to thank everyone for watching, everyone for joining us, and yeah, man, we'll speak to you guys later.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.